So, Helen, in 2017, you were chatting to a colleague of mine, and you told them that it is disgracefully impossible to make a living as a designer in Ireland. So, I'm curious. We're nearly a decade on, even, and has it become harder, or has it become easier?
Um, well, back then it was really difficult, and I was living in Monaghan, which is like really like an agricultural hub. There's some great industries like Combi and a few other companies, but trying to persuade a bank manager during the recession that he should lend me money to start up a clothing brand that basically sold like clothes. Mostly my biggest market at the time was to the Middle East, and then clothing to, and it was all silks. Like there was no wool, there was no tweeds, there was no traditional. It just made no sense. So that was a really, really, really difficult and tough time because my investors had pulled out, and I just had to go tiny, tiny, tiny small again. And just like, I think I was, instead of buying fabric, I was using the canvas, the artist canvas I had, and painting on that and selling jackets and dresses like that as well.
Yeah.
And then using kind of recycled parts of fabrics that hadn't been used. And I did that for about 2 years. But yeah, that is, and you know what? That's still the reality. Like, unfortunately, Ireland is not a great place to be a sole trader. It is not a good place, and it's not a good place to be a fashion designer. And you can say, and I produce like my main line here in Ireland. It's made from eco fabrics in the Netherlands. What I do with Dunn's is a mix. There's nothing produced here in Ireland. But at that time, yeah, like I was trying to keep everything small and here in the country, but trying to get funding, even trying to get an overdraft, impossible. Like the unless you are tech, agribiz, agriculture, the reality as a creative person in Ireland is you can fuck off.
Yeah.
Sorry, seriously. Or you can spend, and I have ADHD, so trying to get grants and fill out funding and forms and stuff like that. That literally takes me about a week. A week. I'm not joking you. Like, it's just the amount of paperwork to get like maybe like half a nail is just prohibitive.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
And you're taxed to the gilt as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
When were you diagnosed with ADHD?
When I was 35.
Okay, late in life.
Yeah.
But I guess you probably always knew, did you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't actually. Do you know what I did? I didn't know. I just learned to adapt. And learned like coping mechanisms and that kind of thing. So yeah. But when I found it was a bit of a relief. To be quite honest, it was like, oh, this is great. I'm not mental, and
This is why I've ghosted you for 6 years.
like yeah. And but you can try as much as you want to work yourself into being able to not be, to have a filter and to be able to sleep at night, or just things that a lot of people take for granted, concentration levels, spontaneity is terrible. But for example, to come here today, I knew I had to like get up really early this morning because my day starts early. But I knew I had to go for like a big fat run, and then also before I came to you, do at least a half an hour's walk before I came here. And yet I still cursed on your podcast.
I've noticed the baseball cap. Does that help? And the reason I ask, I find like it kind of helps you focus.
Yeah.
Like a baseball cap. It's almost like a racehorse being blinkered.
Absolutely.
Takes out some of the stuff on the side.
Yeah, I that's why I wear them the whole time. That's why we brought them in. Well, that's why I like badgered to get them in to our main line or to our collection in Dunn's, because I wear them all year round. And I paint outside during the summer because the light's amazing to get the prints, and it just stops the shadow. It creates a little shadow so you can really see without the glare what the artwork is looking like.
I wish people who aren't listening to this could see you right now. You are just wearing the most incredible outfit. It's the best outfit I've seen all year. Like, it's just the jacket. It's like a dropped shoulder. It's like a silk tartan, but it's like a really vibrant. It's like your own tartan, but you made it with recycled plastic.
Yeah, the fabric it's printed in the Netherlands. It's called Repet, and it's made from recycled plastic bottles.
It's just incredible.
I love it. And then this is from the Dunn's collection. That's out at the moment. It's just like a long sleeve T-shirt.
Oh, nice. I must go and grab that.
Yeah, it's nice. Thanks.
It's fantastic. But let's get back to you and fashion. And when did you know it was the direction for you?
Always.
Okay.
Yeah. My grandmother was a seamstress, and she taught me how to sew. She actually from I think it was like the 1850s. The whole way down to her, mother to daughter, the tradition of crochet was handed down.
Okay.
And it skipped. My mother just didn't want to do it. But she didn't teach me, but her mother taught her. And then her mother, my grandmother, taught me. So I used to spend ages as a kid under her stairs, and she'd have all these like Liberty print fabrics and scraps, and like back then everyone like kept everything.
They all kept amazing swatches of fabric.
Oh, stunning.
Picked up from everywhere.
From everywhere. She had amazing fabrics, and she made all of our clothes, like beautiful embroidered smocked dresses. Like she even made like this wooden car for us. Like she was amazing. But so from then I used to always like, I loved making stuff. And then because of the ADHD, my mum would either, if it wasn't raining, and she even did this in the snow, she would actually make us run outside, especially myself and my younger brother, and do laps of the garden. And she said if we went back in too soon and we were actually able to speak, because we weren't absolutely wrecked, she'd go, "No, you're able to speak. You're not tired enough." So running was like her way of kind of calming us down. But also she had this, for the rainy days, a big bucket of crayons, and she would like literally just make me draw on like paper, and sometimes newspaper. She'd get me to colour in newspapers. She got me to colour in the Bible once. I mean, then it was a kid's Bible, but like it was all in black and white. She was there, here, colour that in. It's like huge. So that kind of creating was always something that I wanted to do. And then my mum was really into fashion. She studied in the Sorbonne in Paris, and then she went and worked in an art gallery on Cork Street. And they specialised in North African primitive art. And her wardrobe, she used to go on buying trips. So her wardrobe, I remember as a kid, I used to get into it and just dress up in these amazing, like, her leather moccasins and these incredible turbans and these beautiful kaftans and that were like hand printed and just incredible stuff, and batik prints, and so that was a huge influence as well. But she was also really into Catherine Hamnett and Vivienne Westwood.
Catherine Hamnett.
Yeah, like
Make Love Not War. Wasn't that the famous T-shirt?
Yeah, and ban the Pershing that she wore to meet Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
So and she had a few of John Galliano's original pieces from his
From
third,
the
fourth
first
collection.
oh my lord. They're going for mad money right now.
I know, but I have no idea where they are. And she had like some great Vivienne Westwood pieces. So I was like, she'd always draw attention to, what Vivienne Westwood and Catherine Hamlet were doing, because they were quite political as well.
Yes.
They were using their platform to do something pretty powerful, and to do good. So that's what I kind of grew up with. And then so I saw that, oh, you know what, you can actually make a living from this.
Yes.
This is something I'd really like to do. Because I remember when I was younger saying to my dad, oh, I want to be a painter. And he's there, you will not.
Yeah.
There's no money in that.
Yeah.
So, so I was like, okay, I can mix everything together by being a designer.
Yeah.
So it was something I always wanted to do, cut up like curtains and silk curtains that my mum had in the good room at home, and made like these kind of mock Tudor kind of elasticated kind of frilly neck things for the dogs, the two Alsatian dogs, but clearly the dogs didn't like it. My mother certainly didn't.
Yeah.
So the answer is I always something I always wanted to do.
And when did you first make money, either from making art or making clothing?
I actually started making money from making art, because when I was in college, I was kind of like a jack of all trades. I worked in nightclubs selling flowers. So grim. Yeah. Actually, no, it was really great money. We'd go to like the flower market like at 6 a.m. and buy flowers, and
that's a really smart little hustle.
But I'd no college.
So when you say flowers, do you mean like a single rose?
Roses, yeah. So you'd buy a couple of like boxes of roses, and gyp, and then you'd wrap them in plastic individually, and then you'd go on a Friday night or Saturday. Well, usually Friday night, because the roses would be fecked by Saturday. And you'd sell them in the nightclubs at the weekends, and like. We used
Very
to go from,
smart.
Like Kildare. Well, it wasn't me that came up with the idea, clearly.
Yeah.
It was a guy I was going out with at the time. Him and his friends were doing it. And so I was like, wow, Jesus, yeah. They were always looking for someone who had a car. I was like, yeah. And so I recruited some girls from college as well. And that's what we did. But I also was modelling. And then I found like I was never getting booked. I was tiny. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll do like commercial modelling. So I was like Slutty Santa at the side. Actually, just down here on near Conley Station, I was during like Christmas a Slutty Santa handing out. I can't remember what it was, but freezing. So that was another side hustle, and then my good side hustle, but you could only do it during the kind of spring and summer, was I'd make art and sell it on Stephen's Green and on Marion Square at the weekends.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I was in a band as well, but we were really shit. So the art was financing the band.
Yeah.
So there was a lot going on.
A lot. And then you kept on going, and I feel there was a time where it was all art for you, though, right? Before?
It was, yeah. So I knew that. So I had my eldest when I was 23, and I kind of knew that there were still some Madeline baby homes in Ireland at the time, which is insane. Yeah. But I had her when I was very young, and I knew that like being a designer wasn't something that was going to be in my timeline of that period of my life. I knew it was something I'd always come back to. But she was kind of my priority. So I just started painting, and looked for, anytime we went away, I looked for representation with different galleries. And sometimes you were like, there's a snobbery element in the art world, in some parts of the art world. And they don't take kindly to you, dropping in a brochure or This was like dropping and cold calling.
Do
which
they
is
not?
fair. Which is fair. A lot of people don't. But like some of them were so rude. I remember someone actually chasing me out of a gallery on Cork Street.
Stop.
Yeah. And I was standing on the street and I was like pretty upset. And there was the next gallery that was a gallery called Helga Fox Contemporary. And I was standing outside it and I was like clearly upset. And she just saw your man like shouting and she came out onto the street and she was an Austrian woman and she's there, are you okay? And I was there, yeah, he's really rude. And she goes, he's just really cranky. Ignore him. You just got him on a bad day. But yeah, he is rude. She's like, he's very pretentious. And I just ended up talking to her and I just gave her my like catalogue or brochure of my paintings, and I was like on the train back to Heathrow and she phoned me and said, I really like your work.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how I got started with her. She had a gallery in London and in Berlin, and then I got signed to a gallery in Miami, which was hilarious because my mum actually thought it was a front for like washing drug dealing money. Yeah. But it wasn't. So I was like, at one stage I was with 10 different art galleries and like making, you couldn't put a roof over your head, but like making some money from it. And then like the boom happened and it was really good then. And I did a couple of kind of solo shows and they sold out. And then suddenly overnight, every single gallery except for Helga Fox Berlin just folded within 2 months. 2 months.
You know, Kevin Sharkey was just in the podcast and he shared the exact same experience.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And he says the day of the crash,
Yeah.
he said the gallery was so empty that he sent a staff member up to see if there was a blockage on the road, to see if pedestrians couldn't come down the street.
Wow.
Yeah. And he said it was that instant.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
It is very wild. I was kind of lucky because I had an agent in the UK, and he used to. He was also an interior designer, so he kind of kept me going a bit, but not a lot. But he introduced me to this woman who owned a gallery. She was one of the Omani royal family, but American and married into the family, and she kept me going as well. So between him and her, they kept me going. And it was actually at, I was selected to show at this art fair called Art Paris Abu Dhabi. So there's Art Paris and Art Paris, and then they have this Art Paris in Abu Dhabi. It's kind of biannual, and it was the first one, and they'd like a big media push, and so my artwork was selected, and they flew us over, which was fantastic. Yeah. And when we were coming out of the airport, there was like this big billboard with like a collage of loads of different art, and there was like Andy Warhol and Basquiat, and then there was my like chaos painting. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it.
Incredible.
It was mental. But it was at that show that I got introduced to by a woman who was a collector for the Emirati royal family, and her sister was a buyer for a retail chain called Boutique One. Yeah. And they're in the Middle East, and they're kind of like the Selfridges of the Middle East.
Yes.
And because we were given a strict dress code, so I had to make, I made prints from my artwork. Yeah. And basically
like an abaya, like.
Yeah, I actually bought an abaya online, and when the fabric came back from the printers, this is how I found the printers in the Netherlands, and when the fabric came back, I just got the abaya and laid it down and cut the keep hitting that, and cut the pieces out around it, and then kind of tailored it after that. So it would sit, under the abaya, but so it would sit like the abaya, so it covered all the proper parts. Like I've been traveling in and out of the Middle East since 1997, and the change has been incredible. But it was a very different place in the noughties than it is today. It had still like completely like changed since like the mid 90s, but there was, because the lady who owned the gallery was part of the Omani royal family, we had to dress respectfully in comparison to all the other European galleries. So I made those pieces, and she came back and she said, "Look, I really like what you did. Is this yours? Where did you get it?" And I told her, and she goes, "I really like what you did. Would you consider, doing..." We just got talking, about the Middle East and about art and women in the Middle East, and I'd kind of seen progression with women's lives in the Middle East. There were more women being appointed to boards, and it was just a lot more liberating than it was in the mid 90s. But so we're having a discussion about that, and she goes, "Oh, you're a designer, you made the pieces." And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "That's what I studied in college." And she goes, "Well, why did you stop?" And I explained, like literally told her my life story, and she goes, "Well, would you consider like putting, a capsule collection together and, sending me your prices and see what we can do?"
What a trip.
What a trip. And I sold a piece to the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi on the last day, because I hadn't broke even at this stage, and I was planking it. And so he bought a piece, and then I sold a couple of other pieces. But the piece that went to the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, it went to his stables, not into a horse's stable, but into like an office in his stables.
Okay.
Yeah. But still.
Yeah. It's funny that you know where the piece went, because I'm always curious about that. When I'm in a gallery, I just always think about that moment where you buy a painting or somebody buys a painting, and then they tell the artist, that piece sold.
Yeah.
Are you super curious? Are you like, who were they? What were they wearing? What did they say? Because I'd like to know where my work went.
But a lot of the time you don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, until maybe someone puts it up on, especially if you're selling through a gallery. Like selling on my website, I know where the pieces go. But if you're selling to a gallery, no, a lot of the time you don't know.
Yeah. So tell me about Dunn's, because I think a lot of people will associate your name with Dunn's.
Sorry, I forgot to go back. So that's how, oh my God, that's how I started my first collection. Was
on that
trip. I went back and I created this capsule collection, and she said to me, okay, well, she gave me an agency, a fashion agency, and I got in touch with them, and they were like, "Oh, I don't know if we'll take you on," and then they came back to me and said, "Yeah, actually, we've showed your PDF around, and so you definitely have a sale from Boutique One and a possible from another. Can we take your samples to Paris Fashion Week?" I was like, "Yeah, of course you can." Yeah, so that's how I launched my first.
Okay, so Dunn's were aware of you being at Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah, well, I had my own label. I launched in 2012 and then showed at Paris Fashion Week for like every season.
Yeah.
Until COVID. Mm-hmm. But Dunn's, Dunn's got in touch with me in 2017.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
got it.
And
it's a long way down the line.
It was.
There was a whole kind of many chapters between the two.
Yeah, and the reason why the sportswear conversation came up was because I had done leggings and T-shirts that had been there was this amazing stylist called Kimmy O'Neill, and she works for Love magazine now. I think she's the fashion editor, and she was a stylist for Warner Brothers Music at the time.
Okay.
So she would have taken some of my samples from the London showroom to dress people like Rita Ora and Rihanna, and it was kind of from that then that I got to do some kind of stage outfits, and from the kind of leggings material, and I kind of got an understanding of, you know, movement. You do need that as a designer, you always do, but this was kind of another level of like, you know, how 4-way stretch works, or, you know, moisture wicking and all that kind of thing that you need to take into consideration when creating stage wear for someone who's going to be athletic on stage.
Yeah.
So that was a good learning curve, and it really helped me then when myself and Dunn started our collab.
And tell me, was there ever a stage of your career, because that seems like a real career high when you talk about, you know, the Middle East?
That really was.
I'm curious though, was there ever a stage of your career where you were just absolutely abjectly broke?
Yeah. 2014, when my investors pulled out.
Okay.
I was broke, very, very broke. And I had separated, had started going down the route of separation. So I was extremely broke. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really, really broke.
Did you go down the legal route then to that bring an extra brokenness to
it? Was like prohibitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking back, would you have done it differently?
I think I would have made different choices with the legal people I engaged, and it was a really, really difficult time in my life, and I was on antidepressants. I was just trying to cope. I just put my kids first, and that was all I was doing. It was just putting one foot in front of the other. So I was trying my very best just to keep all the balls rolling. And it was something I never wanted to do, but unfortunately I had to. And it was horrible. It's really horrible. Like,
what's the grieving? Look, it's not the same for everyone. But what would you, in terms of years, like when are you? Can you look back now in retrospect and see that as a period, or are you still? Are you almost still in it?
Do you know what? Like, it was the best thing for all concerned. That I did that. Absolutely, 100%. And the grief, I still mourn for maybe the life that my kids might have had everything gone, you know, picture book, but things don't, you know, things don't. There are times though that, like, say 18th birthdays, or, you know, those kind of things, or like my son was 21 recently. That's, you know, that's kind of tough in a way. Just those. But, like, you know, we're all happy and healthy, and you know, it was a really difficult thing to do, and I was fucking terrified, really terrified, but it was the best thing I did. You really learn, like, when shit hits the fan, you really learn. Yeah. You can either sink or swim, and that's just the only way. And you learn who your friends are as well, and who your enemies are. Yeah. That's
compelling.
Yeah.
So tell me, having been through the financial side of that, there's so many components to it, but like, strictly speaking, the financial side, do you treat or view money differently now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
200%.
Okay.
Yeah.
In what way?
just, well, like I'm a single parent, and so you don't have someone to lean on, to discuss finances with, to get advice from. So I drive my sister mental, and sometimes my brothers. But it's very, very different. And you have to have restraint and just really like triple, like not second guess, triple guess, like yourself. And then throw ADHD into the mix, and it's like, ooh, that's really
shiny
cool.
things.
Yum, yum, I'm gonna get that. And then you're like lying awake at night going, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just I had a leak in our house as well, and I took the kids away. Like, because my eldest lives in the UK, and I try and just do a family holiday, all of us together, once a year. And so we went on a gorgeous holiday, and I saved like a demon for it. And then I came back home, and there was a flood.
Sick.
Yeah, from my roof needs to be replaced.
Oh, stop.
Oh, like,
Stop.
you know, you can have, and that's like a huge dent in my savings now.
So tell me about the ADHD. Have you developed coping mechanisms when it comes to money? Like you mentioned earlier about not being able to fill in a form.
Yeah.
Surely there should be someone who can just come along. I always think this, like every creative person needs a sort of a German sort of like pen pusher. Like
eat that up.
Really?
Yeah.
But, you know, but how have you coped with that? Like, do you, for instance, do you try and break the back of it? I always find that helps. So just if you go in and you're just like, I'm only going to contribute 2 minutes to this.
Yeah,
and psychologically, you know that you started it.
Yeah,
because it can be the starting can be so hard.
Yeah, I do tick away at that, and I do try that approach, but unfortunately, then I forget that I've done it. And that so that's a bit of a pain in the ass. But one thing that is amazing is I have the most incredible accountant, and she is fantastic. Like, oh my God, she just makes my life so easy. Really does. Like, I grew up with her as well. Her sister is one of my best friends, and she just is this really calm person, and I'm like, whoa, what do I do now?
Yeah.
You know, she's amazing.
What are your money vices? Like, what can you just not walk past?
Butler's chocolates.
Like, you can live with that. You know, no one's going to be. You're not going to beat yourself up over that now.
No, and then there's your coffee, and then you get one free.
Yes.
And then I'll still buy another 3. And that's breakfast.
Yeah.
But like if you think about that though, that's like it's maybe £5. Like, so that adds up each week. My vice, clothes, shoes.
Yeah.
So bad. So bad. Like I don't go out a lot. I don't go to bougie restaurants. I will do that with my kids for their birthdays or, you know, special occasions, you know, graduations, things like that. But yeah, that's a real vice for me.
Yeah.
And cosmetics.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I mean,
they're necessary.
It's terrible. Like every time I spend, it's shocking. Particularly when you go to a clinic or something, and I'm just like, you pay the money, and it's just like, this is so much money.
It's so much money,
and I know I'm going to be back here in a few months, and it's just. It's not right, and you know what, you're going to have to pay more eventually. Yeah. I'm always like trying to work out like what percentage of my salary am I spending, and what's a fair percent, because I always feel if it creeps up into say you're spending like 10% of your salary and that kind of thing, like does that become like, are you then a slave to beauty? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm always like, I probably think about I think about it too much. I think, but
I think a lot of people are. Unfortunately, it's one of the greatest things in life is to have the opportunity to age. Yet, as a woman, you're not allowed age. Like realistically,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is the
Deal with
reality.
it. No aging.
So yeah, no, it's it's necessary evil.
Yeah, I
It's
think
worth
so.
it though. I would prefer to spend less, and actually I have done. I've spent less on cosmetics and more on like dermatology.
Oh, that's where I'm always
Yeah.
there. No, that's why I've made the little pullback. No,
Yeah.
I'd put it all into like, I would never buy a cream.
No,
Because I just know that you can get pure retinol in a pharmacy in
Yeah.
like in Paris or something. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean, for tenner or like so? Like, that's the
Absolutely.
only thing that works.
and sunscreen.
Yeah, yeah, and then you're done. So,
Yeah.
but I think so. The €100 creams I would never do.
And then cleansers that are prohibitive when you
No.
can buy like Cetaphil, a big
Yes.
huge tub of it.
Which all dermatologists recommend.
And it takes off makeup as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's great.
No, I prefer to just put it into an injectable. That'll do. So tell me about like financial lessons that you've learned along the way. Has anything changed for you, or sorry, did you get any big lessons that have stayed with you?
Yeah. With sales, like with anything that whether it's a commission for a painting, whether it's, you know, a new account with, say, a boutique abroad or here, always get them to agree to your terms and conditions. And then, because I've been burnt so badly in the past, I remember being offered to go into Selfridges, but it was sale or return.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, your order is like 20,000 sterling. I can't fulfill that without, some kind of payment. I cannot do that. So I had to say no to that. And then, like, when I started out, I was like, yeah, oh, great, brilliant, super idea to, like, have stockists from Australia the whole way through to Asia, Japan, Middle East and Europe. Great idea. But your work day starts, like, at 3 or 4 in the morning and then finishes at maybe 9 or 10 at night.
Yeah.
So that was insane. And then your shipping costs are mental as
Yeah.
well. But one of the biggest things I learned was you can't trust anyone
Yeah.
when it comes to money. You absolutely can't. So just make sure whoever you are selling to, that they are actually going to pay you, because you never know. And in fact, that's why I stopped. I only have one stockist in Ireland. That's Costume on Castle Market Street, and they've been with me since day one, and they're great at paying. But I don't have any more stockists in Ireland because I've been burnt so many times by different boutiques in Ireland.
Okay.
Irish are terrible at paying.
Okay.
Some stores aren't. They're really good.
Yeah.
But not good. And
I
chasing
think as
and
well
chasing.
here there's a lot of, I'm not going to say fly by night, there's a lot of people have this kind of idea of wanting to own a boutique,
Yes.
and
And it's a tough business.
it's really tough.
Yeah.
Like the margins aren't great, really.
Margins are crap. And actually, the fashion industry has changed quite a lot. It's never been easier to be seen as a young designer, but it's hard to stay in business. It's hard to really stay in business. But like with e-commerce, you're able to sell directly, so you're not being hit by by poor margins in wholesale. Whereas that was really my only direct access to market when I started out. So that has been quite liberating. That's been really good.
Do any of the Dunn's customers make the transition to your own label? Like, do they kind of?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Quite a few. And in fact, most of the Dunn's when I started out with Dunn's, all of the customers for my main line bought Dunn's, and they still do. I've really, really great customers here in Ireland, like amazing, both with my main line and with costume and with Dunn's. They're brilliant.
That doesn't surprise me, you know.
Really?
There's just something about, because it's like you are the kind of original like wearable art person.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, I think, and I'm not saying it's a trend, but there's a lot of people doing the wearable art thing now.
Yeah.
But I think because you were first out of the traps there's that, but also it's the fact that you feel like you're supporting an artist.
Oh, and
Do you know?
they are. Like, they really, really are. And another thing I do incorporate an awful lot with the artwork is, and that usually becomes the prints as well. I make sure whatever colours I'm using, that the combination, that there's a certain element of colour theory and colour therapy in it.
Wow.
So that you're hitting parts of the body that, you know, or even if you're looking at a piece, you know, that there's a lot of colour, say, up here, or that there's even in the pullers, like...
So you're saying like you're almost hitting the kind of chakras, or is
yes,
it thinking to that level?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah, I'm really into that. And the team in Dunn's are amazing. And like the designer is incredible, and the attention to detail that he brings, and I wreck his head, but we work together, and it's a really good combination that you're always looking at, right? If this is a black garment, where can we have that pop of colour to lift? Because black to a certain extent can attract a lot of negativity. So you're always having these little bits of colour in the neckline when you zip up your zip, just to keep negativity away, to lift the spirit, and
Big time.
sometimes to calm, and yeah.
And I think when you wear bright colours, you're just up, you're adding to other people's day. You're lifting them.
Oh, that's true.
It's
Yeah,
a joyous thing to bring. Do you mean down Grafton Street?
I love it. It's so fun. I love it. And that's the other thing. Like, it's all ages and sizes. It's all ages, sizes. I mean, it's not, and all demographics. Like, it's really hard to go, who is that customer? Because she's everyone. You know, it's like, she's a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, Helen, I'm not kidding you when I say I'm going straight to Dunn's after this. Honest to God, if you saw the outfit that's sitting in front of me, I'm going
You're
to
very
buy it all.
kind. Thank you.
I love that chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
having
for coming
me.
in.
Thank you.